prepared.
Many of us have served long Facebook jail sentences. It's a blast, man. I mean,
well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Hello, Prince George. Listeners at C4 88.7 FM. Hello, Winnipeg, CKUW 95.9 FM, and Kamloops, CFBX 92.5 FM. Hello to Rogers Television viewers in Vancouver Island. If you can, in fact, witness this episode, if you have power by the time it airs, pretty disastrous event this week in Vancouver Island, and we know a lot of you are still in the dark out there, so we're hoping the best for you. This is the Comedeorological Report. My name is Joey Only. This is the show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's a brand new science that I founded a couple years ago with the help of Dr. Frankie McDonald here, who is a master of all things weather-related. He's the world's best weatherman. He's really quite fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Frankie, and we're going to have him on here in just a minute's time. Also on the panel tonight, the Comedeorological panel, we don't have Brandon Houck yet. I'm not sure if he's coming or not because he's at a Santa Claus parade, but we do got some footage of him at that Santa Claus parade there in Brooks, Alberta. We got meteorologist Mark Engels down there in Surrey, British Columbia. It's all BC tonight so far. Hilding Donaldson up in Grassy Plains and Karen Richards in Prince George region. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, BC. Frankie McDonald's out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. How you doing so far, Frankie, buddy?
I'm doing great. Over lots of rain and drizzling going on in Sydney, Nova Scotia. So it's Montreal, where Base Guy lives. They're getting some snow in Ohio. They're getting snow in parts of New York. They're getting snow in parts of Kentucky and Illinois, Indiana so far. Then you got some lots of drizzle in New Brunswick and Quebec and Montreal and all those places where Base Guy lives.
Frankie,
and they've got some really bad storm heading for Ontario and Quebec and all those places and Montreal and all those places. It's going to be a big storm all across the entire eastern United States and Canada. And Vancouver, British Columbia, there's another atmospheric river and big storm heading for Oregon. And Vancouver Island, Washington, and California. And Los Angeles may get some rain next week. Possible.
be prepared.
Like Los Angeles, California as well. And then they got some more storms. One storm right after another all across eastern United States and Canada. It's going to bring lots of snow in northern Ontario next week as well. Then they got cold air. Then they got lots of storms heading for eastern United States next week. Then they got really cold air in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC. Causing really cold air in Missouri, all across Iowa and all those places. Then you got one storm right after another, all across Ontario on December 1st as well. Then you got lots of storms. It's going to get a deep freeze in Ontario and those places. Then you got warm air and cold air fighting each other. There's a possible ice pellets up in Louisiana and snow in Arkansas possible on December 4th. That's a long ways off yet. It's too far to tell. Like Arkansas and all those places. And I got something else to say. Lots of rain and snow up in the mountains in southern interior BC. Lots of rain and snow in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, parts of Nevada, and all those places in California as well. They had snow in England this week. They had snow in England, France, and all those places. And snow and powerful storms in Europe so far. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Central America right now, like Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, and so far. Down South America, lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Colombia, parts of Venezuela, parts of Ecuador, parts of Bolivia, parts of Peru. Then you got some really dry and windy conditions in northern Chile right now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms and lots of rain in southern Chile, snow up in the mountains in southern Chile as well. It's really a lot of rain and thunderstorms in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and up around Buenos Aires, Argentina. They got some thunderstorms in the forecast. They got hot air coming to Buenos Aires, Argentina as well. And Falkland Islands going to get cold temperatures as well. And Stanley Falkland Islands as well. Weather all across Europe. It's been snowing in Switzerland and France and England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland with rain. In Northern Ireland, they got a big powerful storm heading for England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Then up in the mountains in Scotland, the low pressure is going down 940 millibars west of Ireland. It's going to bring high winds up around.
Bomb cyclone, eh, Frankie?
Bomb
Another
cyclone
one.
in England, France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, Norway, Finland, Sweden. It's going to head towards Italy, then remaining in all those places. And it got some snow and rain in Turkey as well. Then the Turkey's going to get really cold temperatures this Sunday coming, like in Istanbul, Turkey, and all those places. Then it got really cold temperatures heading towards Turkey and Syria and all those places, parts of Lebanon.
Frankie, have you ever tried to yodel before? Can you yodel for us?
There's a bomb cyclone heading for England next week as well. And Wales and all those places. A lot of snow up in Finland, Sweden, and Norway and all those places. The rain changing the snow. Ukraine got really cold temperatures in Ukraine, Moscow, Russia, Minsk, Belarus. Then they got some warm air heading for England, heading for Poland as well. They got really cold air in Poland, including Estonia, Latvia, and all those places. Then it got some cold air in Belarus, Russia, Norway, Finland, Sweden. It's been a lot of snow in England, France, and all those places. Really stormy weather going on in Europe, too. A lot of bad weather going on in Europe. Oh, my God, in Japan. Over in Japan. Lots of storms coming off the coast of Japan, too. Really cold air in Tokyo, Japan. Sapporo, Japan is getting lots of snow in Sapporo, Japan. And snow squalls in Sapporo, Japan as well. Then it got some cold air in South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia, including Mongolia, Siberia, and parts of northern China. Then it got some rain in Shanghai, China, and those places. Cold air heading towards Shanghai, China, and all those places. And then it got the cold front going through Hong Kong. It's going to bring some warm temperatures. Still be warm in Hong Kong. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Papua New Guinea, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. They're entering the dry season as of right now. Bangladesh is in the dry season. India is finally in the dry season. It's really warm and hot in India. Sri Lanka is bringing lots of rain and thunderstorms right now. Then it got some parts of the cyclone later next week. Too early to tell. It's heading towards southern India as well. Possible. It's really dry in Saudi Arabia as of right now. It's really dry in our Arab Emirates, including parts of Yemen, Oman, Qatar, and all those places. It's really dry in Egypt right now. In Libya and all those places. Nigeria and Ghana and all those places, and they're in the dry season right now in Nigeria and Ghana and all those places. Mozambique just entered the rainy season, and Angola is in the rainy season now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Angola, Mozambique, parts of Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Congo, DR Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and all those places. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Madagascar, Laru, and the Mauritius Islands as well. Down South Africa, it's really hot there right now. In Cape Town, South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa. Next Wednesday, you got rain and thunderstorms in South Africa and Mozambique and all those places. And Western Australia. It got cooler temperatures in Perth, Australia. You got really, really dangerous heat heading for New South Wales, Australia. It's been a lot of rain in Queensland, Australia. In New South Wales, Australia, it's going to get dangerously hot weather this weekend coming up. And the next week, it's going to get dangerously hot weather in. There's Northern Australia, it's in the rainy season, like Darwin, Australia, Hirons, Australia, and all those places. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Northern Australia. They're getting dangerous heat there right now. And down New Zealand, there's a high pressure off the coast of Australia. New Zealand's getting showers, so the forecast is getting warmer there right now. This weekend, late next week, it got cold front heading through New Zealand. It's going to bring briefly cool temperatures, then it's going to warm back up. Their summer starting on December 21st. That's when their longest day of the year in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Falkland Islands, and Argentina, and Chile. Their longest day of the year is December 21st. That's Sydney, Nova Scotia, shortest day of the year. And up around the Barrow, Alaska, up above the Arctic Circle, 24-hour darkness without daylight. Down in Antarctica, it's 24-hour daylight there right now, according to Maddie, Jordan, and Mike Post.
One of the questions we had posed from one of the watchers, Frankie, was from a great report, by the way. Dean West has asked how Honduras made out with the storm that they had there last week. And by that extension, Frankie, what happened with Philippines and their storm?
Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in the Philippines. Lots of typhoons heading for Philippines.
Yeah, how did Honduras make out with that bad storm?
Did a lot of damage there.
It was really, really, really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just had Mike show up from Manitoba, from Manitoba Weather Center Manitoba crew. So that's good. We can talk to Mike at some point here about how
and Joe
bad it
Stover's
was.
finished with a polar bear season.
And Joe Stover's finished, so I'm hoping we're going to start seeing him on the show more and more soon. I really hope so. Anybody on the panel have a question for Frankie McDonald, meteorologist Mark? What do you got?
Yes. So, Frankie, tonight at Walmart, I found gingerbread toast crunch cereal and strawberry milkshake frosted flakes. Which one should I try first?
What?
Gingerbread toast crunch cereal or strawberry milkshake frosted flakes? Which one should I try tomorrow morning?
Gingerbread toast crunch cereal.
All right, there we go. That's what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
Because Christmas is coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
perfect.
speaking of gingerbread, I got gingerbread popcorn last week from Safeway. Really good gingerbread
Oh.
caramel popcorn.
Gingerbread
There's
popcorn,
telling
that's
those-
Christmas.
Crazy. I've never heard of such a thing before. Anyone else got a question for Frankie? Mike?
Yeah. How many more hurricanes do you think are heading for the Philippines?
And could be a chance of more. And I'm just verifying the weather models for Philippines, the other side of the world. That means it could be lots of rain thunderstorms in the Philippines right now. There's a cyclone, some kind of cyclone heading for southern India later this week possible. No hurricane, no typhoons in the Philippines lately.
I don't know if we're going to get Brandon Hauk tonight or not. I'm not sure, but it looks like we have a Brandon Hauk report at least. Here we go with the Brandon Hauk report for tonight.
The Brandon Hauk Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Hauk Report. I'm Brandon Hauk, getting lit downtown Brooks. We had our Santa Claus parade. We've already had the snow throughout the week. Much colder air. Winter is here, and it's here to stay. So, snow is on the way, especially Friday into Saturday. We'll get a quick round tonight, and then that heavier bout Friday night into Saturday morning. At least 10 to 20 centimeters of snow is possible for this area through the first part of the weekend. Daytime highs in the right around -10, and it gets even colder after the snow goes away. And we'll see daytime highs around -14 to -16 early next week, and overnight lows pushing well into those -20s, and could be feeling the -30s into early next week. My goodness, it's going to get cold. Ho, 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 ho. It is. That's the latest on the Comedeorological Report. I'm Brandon Hauk.
Yay, that's so great. And, I've been for days, for the last week and a half, been looking at this massive cold air up there saying, go that way. Go that way. Every day of every video, I've been talking about it. Every one of my forecast videos, I'm like, go over there. We don't want you to come down here. Some kind of a storm, please hit this thing and knock it that way. And I think it's happening. I think the cold air is going to go over there. And that's great. You can all have it out in the prairies. We know prairie people love it. That's why you live there. You just love to suffer so much. Mark, why do prairie people love to suffer so much? You don't know. You just got to Canada. That's wrong guy to ask. Meteorologist Mark.
He was a beloved goat, and he's gone thanks to the lightning.
You had some success this week.
I had some success this week. Yes. We had quite the storm. Actually, before I get into it, I want to answer Dean's question about the flooding in Honduras, because I was the one who talked about it last week. So I pulled this up here. There were 1,800 homes destroyed in Honduras last weekend. Some areas got over 1,000 millimeters of rain. That did get verified. It was pretty isolated, but yes, that did happen. And then there was another stat here. Oh, yeah. 251 communities ended up being isolated at one point because of flooding, washing out roads and stuff. So it was pretty crazy. Pretty expected. And like you said last week, Honduras really gets this hard. Like, it seems like every storm that comes in, and they get one every couple of years, like, it's a
And
poor
there's
country with a lot
emergency.
of mountains.
I just found it out an emergency alert on the phone. It says, missing foundable person, Cape Breton Island. Police are looking to locate 74-year-old Daniel Sylvester Young, who was last seen driving a 2017 Black Ford Escape, Nova Scotia plate HEU 17 171 in the Sydney Cape Breton Regional Municipality area. Young is described as 5 foot 10 inches tall, 170 pounds with gray hair and a gray beard. Young was last seen wearing nylon navy pants and a dark jacket and ball hat. If Daniel Sylvester Young or his vehicle are observed, call 911. That's the emergency alert in Cape Breton Island.
There you go. Hopefully he's found.
Yeah, sounds bad when someone who's old goes missing, especially when the weather's been bad. It's very concerning, very concerning. Oh, we had, of course, that young girl go missing in BC, near where Hilding's from, a month or two ago, and she was found after a few days. So you can always hold that hope. It's always worth looking. It's always worth trying. Nonetheless, we're here to sell you fear. So, Mark, what
Yes,
do we
we
got?
are. Well, we had a bomb cyclone this week. It was very spicy, especially on the island, on Vancouver Island. Of course, people watching on Rogers, if you have power and are watching this, you know that. It was spicy down in Western Washington as well. I know a bit more about Western Washington just because there's more information coming out from the Seattle area than there is from Vancouver Island right now. At one point, BC and Washington combined, there were over 750,000 people without power. In the Seattle area, this was the worst power outage storm since the Hanukkah Eve storm of 2006. So this was a big deal. And of course, Joey and I have been both talking about this all week. Like all the haters, like, why are you calling it a bomb cyclone? It didn't do much here. And we talked about this a little in the pre-show, and I just want to touch on it. Like on the local Facebook groups here for Surrey, people are like, "Oh, it was another bus." Like, "Oh, they overhyped it." Well, yeah, but 50 kilometers away from us, outside of Bellingham, like entire neighborhoods were wiped out with trees, like huge trees on homes. And this is very close to us. And then you get down towards Seattle or out on the island, and it's very bad. Um, the power outage map for BC Hydro on the island is still remarkable. Even like we're recording, what day is it today? The 21st. So we're 2 days post event. And there's still well over 100,000 people without power in Washington and BC. I do want to talk about with this, part of why it was so destructive in Washington, and I'm going to bring this up because it's interesting meteorologically. Um, Part of why it was so destructive is because the low offshore was strong enough to pull east winds across the Cascades. Most of the wind events in Western Washington are either westerlies or southerlies, and so the trees are not like, they do not grow in a manner where they can take strong east winds.
They're
And so if,
they're leaning to compensate.
right, exactly. They lean to compensate. The roots grow to compensate for southerlies and westerlies, and then these were all easterlies. So equivalent winds coming from the south or west would not have caused as much damage there. Um, there were people even this morning, like there were people using the satellite texting on iPhones to find out if their kids were able to go to school this morning or not. And this is like this person that I heard about was in Seattle, not a suburb, not outside of town, but in the city. It has over 800,000 people, and they're having to use satellite texting. Like this was a big deal. And down south, the bomb cyclone, we call it a bomb cyclone because it dropped over 20 millibars of pressure in 24 hours. That's the threshold at this latitude. And this storm dropped 65 millibars in 24 hours. So it was a bomb cyclone 3 times over. It tied for the strongest storm on record in this part of the Pacific Ocean. And if it had been, it was out around 130 degrees west. The Washington coast is about 124 or so. If it had been closer, like the whole area would have been toast. We were very happy that it stayed several hundred kilometers offshore. The storm is also, the cold front is driving a very strong atmospheric river into Northern California. Some areas have already recorded over a foot of rain, or about 300 millimeters of rain. Um, North at Reading, I-5 has been closed for a while because the snow is so heavy in the mountain areas. That is, again, under the atmospheric river. And we have a second bomb cyclone forming right now in the Pacific that will impact the Pacific Northwest tomorrow. 2 bomb cyclones back to back is actually not that unusual, because when you get a really extreme cyclone like the one we had earlier this week, 942 millibars, that disturbs the upper level atmosphere enough that like we've got this upper level trough that's very strong and still sitting here, and it fosters an environment for the jet stream to form in a way that then fosters an environment for the development of another bomb cyclone. This one will not strengthen by 600 or 65 millibars in 24 hours. It's going to be closer to 20. So it's going to barely, it'll, if it makes it, it will barely make it, but it's going to track much closer to the shore. So I think we're going to see strong winds again in the same areas we saw them on Tuesday. Vancouver Island, eastern suburbs of Seattle, and also we were looking at the very cold weather up on the other side of the Rockies, like up by Fort St. John or whatever. That cold creates high pressure, and so the combination of the high in the interior and the low offshore is also creating easterlies in the interior, like northeast of Prince George. And you'll have to forgive me, I don't know the geography very well to what to call these places, but then the offshore winds also funnel through these fjords and out like through Terrace or Bella Coola or something. So if you're up in the interior, what you're watching this tonight, or you're up on the North Coast, if you were windy on Tuesday, you're probably going to be windy tomorrow as well. So that's the main story here.
And what's concerning about that is not only is there's so much devastation still yet to be cleaned up in Vancouver Island. We're here to sell you fear, by the way. Not only that, and there's so much power outages still, but all these trees that have been rocked pretty hard now from that last event, we're going to have a lot of ones that are weakened and ready to go.
Well, and more than that too, all the tree debris that's still up in the standing trees is going to get blown down. You have a tree that like a 3-inch diameter branch or limb breaks off and lands in the tree next to it. Well, it's still up there.
So for some people, it could mean extended power outage, and it could mean a secondary event now comes and sets back progress for getting their power back on. And speaking of Vancouver Island, we got here from Imogen Bailey.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Imogen Cookie Bailey from Victoria, BC. To answer the burning question, no, my power did not go out. My neighbors did, however. So I hope they had candles or at least a good fireplace, or some warm dogs and cats to cuddle with. So, that being said, it's cold, it's windy, it's raining, it's wet. It is life inside a damp sink sponge. It's delightful. So, on that note, enjoy the rest of the show.
Glad that she kept power. I do want to say something before we go to Mike real quick. I do want to say something here. Somebody in the chat asked about the Fujiwara effect. So what happens here with the Fujiwara is too low. If there are two lows close to each other, they will kind of like circle around a midpoint in the middle. The second bomb site. So the bomb cyclone from Tuesday is still sitting offshore. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's southwest of Vancouver Island somewhere. And the path of the new one that's coming in from the southwest is going to be driven by the old one. That's why it's going to come closer to shore. And then the old one will then circle back south, and it will be much weaker, but it's going to swing into southern Oregon on Sunday. So they're going to interact with each other for the whole weekend.
I got big news for you. Trey Campbell's heading for Las Vegas to do his comedy show next week on Thanksgiving week.
That's great news. Trey's so funny, too. Mike McGregor was, I'm not sure if you had a question or if we just wanted to go right to you and talk to you about...
This Wednesday coming up, I'll be on Kins and Clump podcast with Jamie Clump, the co-host, on November 27th. 8 o'clock Atlantic, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific.
Well, he's a real man, this guy, Jamie Clump. He went to Taylor Swift this week. So I don't know if Mike's got a question, but I think we should just go right to Mike now anyways and ask you about all the weather that happened in Manitoba and Saskatchewan this week, Mike. There was some crazy snow there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I really haven't been keeping up to date on the information, but I know some of the stats and what's gone on the last couple of days. There was power outages in Western Manitoba, mostly because of ice on the power lines. We had a very, very strong low pressure system impact Western Manitoba, and it brought snow and blowing snow. The highways, Justin and I kept having to post highway closure information because people are asking, well, is there highways closed? Is there, because they kept reopening and closing certain highways, and people in our group were asking, like, because we can kind of like, we had to deal with a lot of that. And then we also had a really weird situation where the area of low pressure was forecast to move instead of like, in the most areas of low pressure clippers, like Colorado lows, this one came up to the south. But then instead of like it was forecast to move southeast, it actually stalled right over the top of Winnipeg. So it's kind of like interesting how like, I don't know if Mark knows anything about this, but it was weird how the warm sector stalled right over top of southeastern Manitoba. So if you travel like 15, 20 kilometers west of Winnipeg by Poorsville Prairie, they had 35 centimeters of snow. Some of the elevations in western Manitoba and escarpments had 40 plus centimeters of snow. Mark Engels has something. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so your observation about southeastern Manitoba staying warm is actually a really good catch there. And I haven't looked super closely, but I think
it was raining there while it was dumping snow on, say, Brandon and
right,
the mountains to the north there.
Yeah, it
right,
was raining all day in Winnipeg.
And what we're looking at is the track of that low. You described it as coming in from the southwest and moving to the northeast. Well, because of that, how that cold front would have been oriented would also have been southwest to northeast. So rather than the cold front moving forward, it just got longer. Instead of moving from, say, Kansas east to Missouri, it just stretched out from Kansas up to Manitoba. And so if you're on the southeast side of that, you're going to stay warm. If you're on the northwest side of that, you're going to stay cool. And this is actually also how we form atmospheric rivers. Is we have a low that moves in a way that the front doesn't move. And all the moisture gets funneled. You don't get an atmospheric river out of that because it's coming from the desert southwest of the United States, not from Hawaii or somewhere. But this is a really good observation.
Yeah, normally we don't normally get those atmospheric river setups, but we have this summer a lot.
Do you remember
experienced.
Do you remember that in summer 2018, Sydney, Nova Scotia hardly never had rain, and Sydney, Nova Scotia in summer 2018, and eastern seaboard of the United States had so much rain like Washington, D.C.
It's crazy how our climate can shift, and what happened with this low is that in Winnipeg, it was actually raining for about 6 solid hours, and we normally get like snow. Like, I think we're at a record right now for the longest time we've gone without snow. Normally at this point, between 1991 to 2010, our average in Winnipeg is about 15 centimeters of snow on the ground. We have none right now. I do see a bit of a change in the pattern as we get later in the week. Justin and I were talking another clipper system moving off the Western Rockies into eastern Manitoba and southern prairies. I'm not sure. The GFS is hinting at us getting about maybe a couple inches. Areas north of here could be getting a bit more, and then another system comes in behind that. But I'm actually it was funny today because I saw a car, I think it was on Roblin Boulevard or something, with snow covered, and there's no snow around here. So we're like, did this guy come from western Manitoba or something? It was funny, but yeah, it's weird how that snow and rain line cut off really really close to Winnipeg, and I think we're probably gonna get snow at some point, but western Manitoba bore the brunt of it. I saw southeast Sask, they had snow up to someone's roof. It's crazy how slow our winters are starting to come into the city here, but our average temperature should be about -5, -6 right now. Our daytime highs are still +1, +2. I see this pattern persisting into next week where we see -1, -2, -3, and then I see, as Brandon mentioned, a big influx of cold Arctic air, which is what's probably going to hit us at some point, -15, -16. I see probably at the end of this week into next week, I've already saw a couple of the weather models suggesting us diving after the system comes through on Friday, Saturday,
I have
Sunday.
literally willed this cold air mass towards you. over the last 10 days of talking about it in my forecast videos. I've literally willed it east, and it's working.
Well, maybe find a way to will it back so we
Nope.
get like I want no snow until Christmas. Make it 97 again.
Well, you might not have snow, but you might have -30. We're going to go to Edmonton quickly
Okay.
for a report
Thanks,
from
Joey.
Kelly Green. Yeah, stick around, Mike. We're going to go to Edmonton quickly for a report, a meteorological report from Kelly Green, and then we got Hilding and Karen on tap after that. Here we go with Kelly Green's report.
Hello, Joey only, and all you fine folks tuning in to the Comedeorological Report. Winter's arrived. I'm gonna make my way over to the car. Look at all this lovely, nice, fluffy snow. It's actually quite pleasant. A lot of people are going to complain, especially if you got to be out there driving, but it's only about -10 or so, and this snow is just beautifully, beautifully fluffy. Get my trusty tool. Winter tires on a couple weeks ago, a few weeks back. Finally get to use them. Another thing that we get to use in these chilly parts of the year is natural gas. Don't tell my neighbors that I actually really appreciate natural gas in the wintertime, keeping me warm. But climate change, I'm still conflicted. This is my neighbor, Megan. Hi, Megan. How's the weather?
Hi. It's winter in Canada. We're going to make some snow forts tonight.
Sick. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be on the Comedeorological Report tomorrow. Woohoo! Okay, you guys take care out there.
That is the difference between Wells and everywhere else in the world. Is today I went to go get my kids. I didn't actually watch Kelly's video until right now because I had to go get my kids in Quesnel, and I wasn't back until just around 6 o'clock tonight. Didn't give me very much time to sort of get in the door, get settled, get things set up, and get myself set up and whatnot. And so I cleaned my truck off, and in Wells fashion, I used a snow shovel.
About the only one who's happy about this weather. He kind of rather likes the snow. I don't like it so much. So we're kind of running around the backyard because I'm not going for a walk. Too cold. Actually, the wind is quite brutal here today.
Who wants to go? Karen, you got your mic unmuted. Let's go to you. Let's go to Prince George to Karen Richards up there. You've been doing a great job while I was in Facebook jail. Man in the fort for Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. Thank you very much, Karen, and to all the moderators at the group. Appreciate that. We've almost hit 40,000 people.
Well, you're so welcome. I know I was down on the coast last weekend. First night, good. Saturday night, rain, monsoon rain when we were at the Canucks game. Sunday night for the Grey Cup, not so bad. And then I got home and there was snow everywhere. I'm so not happy about that. Still.
So there was quite the outcome to that Grey Cup game you were at. Like, what happened there?
Right?
It was tied.
Like it was good and then it was not good. It just blew apart.
Like Toronto.
It was good for so long and then it just went sideways.
You know, this is the Argos that won the Grey Cup. I mean, come on. This isn't the pinball era no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Do you have... Oh, go ahead.
Yes, really the kind of highlight, which I can't share and show on our show, is the streaker.
Yeah, I did put that in my forecast video if you didn't notice. But she's so small.
I missed that one.
Until you really look closely, you can't tell that she's actually streaking, right? So the internet censors didn't get it. It's like not like you can see anything in your video. But I'm glad you went down there and had a good time, Karen.
Yeah, no, it was a blast. It was fun. Yeah. I wish I'd taken more video forecasts, but it was so loud down there, I could not. Like, it was just insane down there.
Only the second time the street's been white this fall.
Calves will never be delicate and friendly, even though
Hilding Donaldson, what about you up there in Grassy Plains?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Since last Thursday, we've had some real interesting weather here.
Like it was +5 and not much going on last week, and then all of a sudden on Saturday about noon it started pouring rain, literally pouring rain. We hardly ever have rain come down here that hard. And you were posting that you had snow over in the Caribou, and I'm like, we have pouring rain, it's melting everything. I went out to go to the store and I'm like, it's going to freeze tonight and this is going to be a skating rink, right? So I posted to you at 9:30 that it's still pouring rain here. I could just hear it pounding on my roof. And at 10 o'clock, I went out to go do something, and the moon was out. It was clear, and it was -2. And it had snowed at the end of this rain, just enough to put a stipple into all the ice. And I got out, and I could drive anywhere with better traction than I'd had during the day in the rain. It was amazing. Then Sunday wasn't too bad, and then Sunday night it went down to -2 or -3 and a little skiff of snow. Monday was just still all day, and about 10 o'clock at night, Monday night, all of a sudden a gale force wind came up, and Tuesday morning we had 3 inches of snow, or 6 to 8 centimeters of snow, and it was blowing like crazy. I couldn't even drive to get out of the yard. It was just nuts. And then that kind of carried through to yesterday. It was gray, but it was just no more snow. And this morning there was a skiff more, so we have maybe 10 centimeters on the ground. And then, but I took a trip today with a neighbor. We hauled some cows down to Vanderhoof to the auction mart, and between here and town there was variations from 6 to 12 centimeters of snow, depending where we were. But when we got to the other side of Fort Fraser, coming down into the valley in Vanderhoof there, all of a sudden the road was bare and there was only about 3-4 centimeters of snow. But in Vanderhoof town, there was about 6 centimeters of snow again. So it's really patchy, kind of interesting.
We got down to -16 here on Monday night, -16 in Wells. It was cold. That's some of the beautiful things about living at 3,935 feet above sea level. Mike McGregor.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, Joey, you're setting the -16 here. Please do it soon, because I don't want to like a gradual transition. I just want to get it right away so I can get out of my system. It's only like
soon
-3 right now.
You will beg for -16. You'll beg for it. You'll beg. Remember the good old days when it was -16? That's how cold it will get with this Arctic outbreak to Winnipeg coming next week. If it does indeed continue to do what I've been asking it to do for the last number. Go over there. Go away, cold air mass. Frankie McDonald, so you got your prediction this week absolutely correct in one of your weather videos.
For British Columbia.
You did. And
my dad made his new song.
This astounding video, Frankie.
What?
You have a rainbow behind you in it. Yeah. It's really quite awesome. Are you ready for the Frankie video?
Rainbow? Yes. I'm ready for the videos.
He's ready for the video. You only made one video this week, Frankie.
I did lots of videos this week.
On your channel, at least only one. And you're only 4,000 away.
Wait a moment. I just did me holding Frank Del Book again. Major storm hit Winnipeg, Manitoba. I sent it all to you to chat.
Oh, they're not on your channel. But I got the other ones that I downloaded, yeah.
I just sent them all.
Okay, well, I got this one right now ready to go. Ready? Heavy rain hit Vancouver Island. Frankie got it right. Here we go.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rains head towards Vancouver Island starting on Friday, October the 18th, 2024. It's going to bring up to 30+ millimeters of rain, especially in Victoria, British Columbia, Port Renfrew, British Columbia, Sauk, British Columbia, Sandwich, British Columbia. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Duncan, British Columbia, Ladysmith, British Columbia, Sandwich, British Columbia, and Iowa, British Columbia, Port Alberni, British Columbia, Brecksville, British Columbia, Quemacon Beach, British Columbia, Courtenay and Comox, British Columbia, including Campbell River, Port Hardy, and Port McNeill, British Columbia. Is going to bring a lot of rain since the atmospheric river, known as Pineapple Express, come all the way from Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. That's going to drive all the moisture into Vancouver Island, especially Victoria, British Columbia. I urge everyone to don't walk to the poles. Avoid the poles when you go for a walk. When driving a car, don't drive a car to the poles either. Make sure to Wear your rain gear, wear your rubber with raincoats to keep you dry. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain. It's going to bring some mudslides and landslides up in the mountains of Vancouver Island. I urge everyone to be prepared, including Tofino, British Columbia as well. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Vancouver Island, especially in Victoria, British Columbia, and Nanaimo, British Columbia, including Campbell River, Port McNeil, Port Hardy, Parksville, Quemegon Beach, and all those places. Ladysmith, Duncan, Port Renfrew, Sauk, and Saanich, British Columbia as well. Be prepared. Heavy rain's going to last through Saturday, October 19th to Sunday, October 20th, 2024. If you have anybody living in Vancouver Island, be prepared for heavy rain on starting on Friday, October 18th, 2024. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in heavy rain. Stay dry, be safe.
Okay, I'll go look them up in a minute here, Frankie. I got another video, though, that you sent me this week already to show to people, although it takes me a second here to find it because I got to do this and that here on the computer and this and that. But this is great. This is my favorite Frankie. Frankie sends these videos to me where he's walking around out in public and people come up and say, "Hey, Frankie, can we have a picture?" And he says, "Yes, you can have a picture, but first you have to say hi, Joey only," he says to them. And this is my favorite say hi, Joey only video. I think, yeah, this one's great.
Hey everybody, let's say hi, Joey only.
Yeah.
Say hi, Joey only.
Hi, Joe only.
I'm Frankie. You listen to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Atlantic. And Joey Only is a great podcast. The Care for Weather YouTube channel, Care for Weather Joey Only. I got a lot of fans of Wells, British Columbia, and Brooks, Alberta. Brandon Helps lives in Brooks, Alberta. He's a weatherman out there. Him and Cokie Bailey lives in British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia. And Joey Only's a really nice guy. And I'm on his podcast every Thursday nights. And Joey Only used to work for Vancouver Giants, Western Hockey League team. I'm big fans of Joey Only. And Joey Only's a big fan of mine. Joey Only used to work for Vancouver Giants. He's a big fan of Prince George Cougars. It's on CFUR 88.7 FM, Prince George, and CKUW 95.9 FM, and CFBX 92.5 FM, Winnipeg. It's on Shaw, it's on Rogers TV in Vancouver Island. Best luck to you. I'm Frankie. You're listening to Joey Only Show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. To Joey Only and the boys. This is for Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night. Say hi, Joey Only.
That's so funny, Frankie. It's so good. I love that one so much. I like how they just keep walking away. It's perfect.
I just sent the newest videos to Comedeorological Weather Report group chat just now.
Yeah, I'm grabbing it right now. I've seen it. Yeah, okay. How come I didn't see that on the YouTube when I looked at it? Something weird is going on. Maybe I didn't. I know what I did. I know what I did wrong, Frankie. When I went to the YouTube, it went to home. It didn't go to. I didn't go to the videos page where I can see all your new videos, and the only one that was up was bomb cyclone to hit Vancouver. So I've actually found the other videos now, and also Frankie got his prediction right for Manitoba, and I got his video of him holding the book. Anyone got questions for Frankie right now?
And my dad's song.
Oh, I missed that one.
Frankie,
I just sent you my dad's song.
You got a question for Frankie there?
Yeah. Yeah. Coming from because I see a couple. Have you said the same thing?
I'm not sure I understood what you said. There was like some glitch. In
Does
the
he
internet.
see any more snowstorms? Does he see any more snowstorms coming to? Does he see any more snowstorms coming here? Manitoba?
It's in Europe. It's heading towards Turkey and the other side of the world.
Yeah. There you go.
Against Istanbul, Turkey, and all those places, even Syria.
What are you doing this weekend, Frankie?
And that means my Jason Marshall's doing the show this Sunday coming. He's not doing the show on December 1st because of American Thanksgiving. Next week, a lot of U.S. podcasts will be taking a week off because of Thanksgiving.
I want to come on Clins and Clump with you on Wednesday there. I really like those guys. They're really great. Out in Timmins, Ontario. Check out Kins and Clump if you ever can. All right, I got some more Frankie videos for you guys. You all ready for some more Frankie videos?
I also sent you my dad's latest soundtrack group chat. Hey everybody, here's my update of my upcoming world tour. When I travel to every single country in the world, that means I'll be traveling to every single province in Canada and every single state and territory in the United States of America. People have to pay at the box office to go see me on stage. I'll be traveling to Mexico and Central America, like Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Honduras, and Panama. And I'll be traveling to every single country in South America, like Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Peru, and Chile, and Brazil, and Argentina, and Falkland Islands, all across South America as well. And I'll be traveling to every single country in Europe, like England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Isle of Man, and Ireland. And I'll be traveling to France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, and Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Netherlands, and Greenland, and Iceland, and Italy. I'll be traveling to Albania, Greece, and Serbia, and Romania, and all those countries that will be part of my world tour. I'll be traveling to Estonia, Latvia, Belarus, Russia. I'll be traveling to China, Japan, South Korea. I'll be traveling to places like in Hong Kong and Taiwan as part of my world tour. I'll be performing on stage. I'll be dancing on stage. I'll be doing speeches about me, talking about my weather reports, and dancing on stage and doing my own comedy skits on stage. I'll be traveling to Bangladesh and Myanmar, in India, including Philippines and Cambodia, including South Africa, Namibia, Angola. I'll be traveling to Botswana, Mozambique, Madagascar, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Uganda, Kenya, and all these places I'll be traveling to. Madagascar, La Reunion, and Mauritius Islands. I'll be traveling to Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia, New Zealand, Fiji Islands, French Polynesia, New Caledonia, Vanuatu, and all those South Pacific tropical islands as well. I'll be traveling to every single country in the world. I'll need an agent. I'll need a pilot. I'll need my own accountant. I'll need a lot of lawyers when I travel to every single country in the world. I'll need a catering. I'll need a sound crew. I'll need a sound engineer. I'll need engineers and things like this. I'll need a logistics guys when I travel to every single country on the planet. I'll need a lot of crew members and things like this for my world tour. I'll be traveling to every single country on the planet.
Even ones that don't speak English.
I'll be performing in Finnuins, both indoor and outdoor Finnuins, in every country in the world. I'm Frankie McDonald.
Even Quebec.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Massive storm is headed towards Winnipeg, Manitoba on Tuesday, November 19, 2024. The storm's going to start off as rain's going to change over to snow. That's going to cause really dangerous and treacherous traffic conditions. There'll be a lot of snow on the ground. That could cause blizzard conditions, blowing snow, drifting snow, really icy roads. It's going to continue on Wednesday, November 20th, during daytime hours in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Then the temperature is going to remain really cold after a storm in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and surrounding areas, including Brandon, Manitoba, Port Angel, Prairie, Manitoba, and surrounding communities as well. As the storm is starting off, as rain's going to change over to snow. It's going to cause blowing snow, drifting snow, reduced visibility, dangerous, treacherous traffic conditions. I urge everyone to have your salt trucks ready and have your snow plows and shovels ready as well. It's going to bring the blowing snow, drifting snow that can cause snow drifts, blowing snow, drifting snow as well. People in Winnipeg, Manitoba, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats and gloves and scarves and ski pants ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy a case of Pepsi, buy a case of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure you have your smartphones, cell phones, laptops, tablets charged. Have your 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE and mobile internet ready as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive the car, slow down, so you don't get in car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking, see adults if you fall. Make sure if your furnaces and heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnace heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea, keep you warm. And for extra blankets, ready, keep you warm. So make sure if your shovel, snow scoop, snow blower, snow plow, salt trucks ready as well. Each way, everybody living in Winnipeg, Manitoba, be prepared for major storm on Tuesday, November 19, 2024. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major storm. Stay warm and be safe.
Well, you definitely got that one right too, Frankie.
Hey everybody, here's a copy of my book, Be Prepared to Fight All Kind of Life, Weather, and Everything. It's a great book. It has lots of pictures of myself when I was a kid. It has an autobiography about me and my weather reports. It has a lot of information about me, like history of Frankie McDonald, things like this. It has 48 pages. It has a lot of pictures of me and me when I was a kid and things like this. It's a great book. It's an interesting book. So people can read it. People can get them on Amazon website. This is a copy of my book. Be prepared, Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything. It's a great book. It's a really great book. It's my own book. I'm holding it in my hand as right now from Frank Down.
Usually I have mine right here, and I was going to grab it, but it's not here.
Hey everybody, it's Frank Down. My dad made his latest song on his SoundCloud Mystic Mist. Sock Hop. That's his title, his song. He played the guitar all by himself, recorded his own song all by himself, and he wrote his own lyrics. It's original song. He wrote his own lyrics, played the guitar all by himself, recorded his song all by himself, mastered his song all by himself. My dad, Frank McDonald, made his latest song. It's called Sock Hop on his SoundCloud Mystic Mist. Give it a listen if you like to for Frank Down.
Sock Hop, new song from Frank McDonald Sr. That's another good report there, Frankie. The great videos this week. I love your videos, man. They're always so good, totally good. And you're only 4,000 away now from 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's really incredible, Frankie. You're the most famous person in weather.
Yeah. And did you hear about this? A lot more people used to be on YouTube back in 2010s.
Yeah, there was more, but still it's going. YouTube's still happening. I've had 14,000 views on my one video this week. So people are watching. They are, and I appreciate that. Everybody who's watching the live stream right now. For all you radio and television listeners, you can always come on to Joey Only Caribbean Weather Dude YouTube channel during Thursday nights when we're recording and catch the live stream here, because often things that we can't show you, images we can't show you on Rogers TV, we can show you on YouTube. So in the pre-show and the post-show, there's some weather talk that doesn't happen here on the recorded version. But thanks very much to the radio stations. Thank you very much, Rogers TV, for hosting us so much. And we'd love to we'd like to be on more channels, like to be on more radio stations if possible, and more Rogers TV channels. If you Rogers people are watching this, let's get us on Quinnell here. Come on,
and in Nova Scotia, they get another cable access TV's not related to Rogers in Sydney.
Yes. Well, let's get the information on that, Frankie. Let's get them broadcasting it. We need more
Sydney,
radio
Nova
stations.
Scotia TV cable access TV in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia. That's another thing.
You walk in there tomorrow and you tell them, "Say hi, Joey Only." And you tell that Jordan Carruthers to come on the show too. I finally met him on the Blue Sky.
They got a cable access TV in Sydney, Nova Scotia.
We should be on it. We should. Well, you should be on it, but by that extension, we should be on it. Right? I think, there's no reason why we shouldn't have the Frankie Show on.
What about the Cape Breton University? What about the radio station in Cape Breton University?
That'd be a great example. Go in there and tell them, "Say hi, Joey Only. Let's get this going." Let's get this happening. There's no weather. There's no radio stations in Grassy Plains, so we won't ask Hilding. That's impossible. But at least for Sydney, Nova Scotia, we're already on in Winnipeg. We're already on in Prince George. I can't strong arm Karen or Mike. We're already there. We've already conquered those markets. We're already fantastic in that regard. But we're still the rest of Canada. We're not on. That's a lot. It's a lot of Canada still. Yeah, Mike.
You should get someone from Toronto or Southern Ontario.
We used to have Gabriel Berardo. It's his birthday tonight. Happy birthday, Gabriel Berardo. If you're
I already wished Gabriel Berardo a happy birthday.
Did you? Yeah, I haven't heard from him.
You did. I saw that.
And it was Brandon Houck's birthday this week.
I already wished him a happy birthday too.
Yeah, we all did. It was so awesome. Did you see Joe Stover's birthday wish for Brandon?
Yes.
Did you see it, Frankie?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it goes.
I didn't see it yet either.
It goes like this. He doesn't even say a word, doesn't even smile. It's like almost out of character for Joe. It's Jolly Joe is just He's like pulling the Joey only act that I pull when I pretend I'm very serious, but actually I'm being very comical inside. And it's like one of my acts. People don't realize they're like, that guy's scary. He's always got a growl look on his face. Like, that's just how I look when I'm looking. That's how that looked to me. Well, it's been a good show this week. And
If
man,
you want
we
to
did have
follow
lots of-
me on social media, my blue sky's at Frankie MacD. My Twitter's at Frankie MacD. My Linktree is at Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My Threads is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDo984. My Clapper is FrankDo984. My Twitch is FrankDo984. My Snapchat is FrankieMCD1. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck, yeah. I'm Frankie MacDonald. Here's the Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Atlantic.
How's your Blue Sky going, Frank? Are you getting a lot of followers on there yet?
Yes, getting a lot of followers on Blue Sky.
You got thousands yet, or?
It's almost up to 1,000.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good. I'm starting to grow too. Starting to grow. It's taken a little while, but at least I'm not in Facebook jail anymore. That's really great. I'm going to keep forecasting on my channel, keep doing what I do up here in Wells, BC. I'm Joey Only. This has been the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Thanks to C4 88.7 Prince George. Thank you, CKUW 95.9 Winnipeg. Thank you, CFBX 92.5 Kamloops. Thank you to Rogers Television Outlets in Vancouver Island. I hope you get your power back. I hope the next round coming in over the next 24 hours doesn't knock things back to the Stone Age even more. Because, that's the reality is they're not done cleaning up. There's a lot of people without power, a lot of people in the dark still throughout many parts of the island that are somewhat remote, have long roads into them that are narrow and windy, with trees down all over the place, and communities cut off still. We still don't know that much about it.
Reminds me a little bit of the freak snowstorm in 2019 in October in Winnipeg that city lost a quarter of its tree canopy, right? Because all the leaves are still in the trees and power outages are massive. So I know what people are in BC are going through. Hopefully they can recover.
Well, we had winds reported at Sartine Island. This is sustained winds. That's Environment Canada official report of 170 kilometers an hour. So that's in the Category 2 hurricane force strength.
That is absolutely
storm.
insane.
It is insane. And of all my years watching weather on the West Coast, I'm not sure I've ever seen a 170 sustained report in an Environment Canada final tally. Really, I think I've seen 160s, 150s. That's a notch. It's up there. It's definitely notable. I'm sure it's not the strongest wind ever recorded on the West Coast, but that's hurricane force. Definitely. So that's the show. That was Mike McGregor from the Weather Center of Manitoba. We did have meteorologist Mark Ingles, ingleswx.com on here earlier, Ingles Weather. And we do have from the world's best weather group that focuses on the BC interior, Karen Richards, there, one of our moderators, and Hilding Donaldson, my old friend up there in Grassy Plains, Nova. Did I just about to say Grassy Plains, Nova Scotia, Frankie? There's no Grassy Plains, Nova Scotia. And we hope that old man missing in the mountains in Nova Scotia is found tonight, Frankie. Any update?
That means they're still finding it. They got to take a while. They'll now find when they found them.
Hopefully they have some good luck tonight there in Nova Scotia. Sometimes I can't get all my provinces right. It's like dyslexia. Well, I think that's the show for this week, everybody.
That's the show.
That's at least the recorded show.
That's the show.
That's the show, everybody. Okay. Good night, Frankie. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming on once again. That's 170 times now, buddy. And you were great.
Yes.
I sit shaking on that day. The tornado came by my way. I knew something was wrong. Nobody else was around. I put on my bravest face. I prayed to leave that place. On the Trans-Canada Highway, I can read what Doppler radar say. The rain line's about a mile away, where I hope it stays. I
called my mother up, and she says, son, guess what? There's been a bad storm here, but we've all